Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky described the US-led peace deal as quite solid at this stage. Christmas celebrations slowly returned to Bethlehem during ceasefire in Gaza. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky hailed some progress on the US-led peace deal, while acknowledging that compromises from both sides will be necessary.
Я бачив знов-таки перші напрацювання, там майже 90%, якщо чесно, саме тих додатків, які для нас важливі, на що може розраховувати наша армія і Україна після підписання таких гарантій, наскільки сильними ми можемо бути. І виглядає все це сьогодні достатньо достойно.
On Sunday, US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff called a meeting with Ukrainian and European representatives, as well as separate talks with Russian negotiators, as productive and constructive. Witkoff noted the US-Ukraine talks focused on the development of a 20-point plan, security guarantees to Kyiv, and a focus on the rebuilding of Ukraine. While peace talks are ongoing, Russia launched a large-scale drone and missile attack on several Ukrainian cities overnight into Tuesday, local media reported.
Poland is beginning construction of an anti-drone system on its border with Belarus. Talking to reporters, Polish Interior Minister Martin Czerwiński announced that this will be the first anti-drone cluster installed on an observation tower on the border. An anti-drone cluster is a group of integrated systems mounted together that can detect, track and neutralize hostile drones. This modern border barrier, equipped with cameras, night vision and a motion sensor system, ensures a 98% effectiveness rate, Czerwiński pointed out. It is called a cluster because several devices and antennas are co-located on a single tower and operate as a single defensive unit. Czerwiński, together with Prime Minister Donald Tusk, visited the border guard site in Bobrowniki.
Ponad 6 tysięcy ludzi wieczór wigilijny spędzi właśnie na granicy i będziemy o nich ciepło myśleć. I będziemy wszyscy pamiętać, że dzięki nim wszyscy pozostali mogą bezpiecznie te święta w swoich domach spędzić.
Minister Czerwiński stressed that the Lukashenko regime, supported by Moscow, is waging a hybrid war that includes illegal immigrants and drones against Poland and the European Union.
Four men were arrested following an opposition rally in the Albanian capital Tirana on Monday. Protesters had gathered at the office of Prime Minister Edi Rama to protest against his government, throwing Molotov cocktails at the building. One of their demands is the resignation of Deputy Prime Minister Belinda Baluku, who was charged by prosecutors for alleged corruption.
Stoj të gjitha forcat politike opozitare. Stoj çdo opozitar. Stoj çdo guzimtar. Të bashkohet në këtë betejë. Në këtë betejë vendimtare për fatin e këtij kombi që po shuhet, që po shkëtohet.
The opposition Democratic Party of Albania accused the governing Socialist Party of election fraud and the erosion of democracy in the country, issues they have been protesting for months.
Several people were injured after an explosion at a chemical plant near Lyon on Monday. 4 workers at the Elcam Silicon site in Saint-Fond were hurt, 3 of them seriously. The prefecture activated emergency plans and ordered residents to stay indoors, but said there is no risk of toxicity to the population. A major response was deployed with over 100 firefighters battling the blaze at the Seveso classified facility. The fire is now under control with no missing persons reported.
The US military said it struck another boat suspected of smuggling drugs in international waters in the Eastern Pacific Ocean on Monday, killing 1 person. Previously, the Trump administration has said the strikes were meant to stop the flow of drugs into the US and increase pressure on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. The strikes brought the total death toll to 105 across 29 operations since September, when the Trump administration began targeting vessels it claims are operated by designated terrorist organizations. Some critics argue that the use of lethal force in international waters without due process amounts to extrajudicial killings.
It's beautiful. It's the first.
US President Donald Trump unveiled a new battleship, the first of the nation's newly announced Golden Fleet. The US leader, who said the country is in desperate need of new ships, called the fleet after himself, the Trump class of battleships.
As you know, we're desperately in need of ships. Our ships are, some of them have gotten old and tired and obsolete, and we're going to go the exact opposite direction.
The battleship, called the USS Defiant, has been compared to the USS Iowa. The vessel will weigh between 30,000 to 40,000 tons, significantly less than the weight of the Iowa. However, Trump said it would be larger and faster.
Each one of these will be the largest battleship in the history of our country, the largest battleship in the history of the world ever built. And again, it's 100 times more powerful than the previous Iowa class.
The battleship will be equipped with hypersonic missiles, nuclear cruise missiles, railguns, and high-powered lasers, technologies that are all still at various stages of development by the Navy.
French President Emmanuel Macron has confirmed the launch of a new aircraft carrier that will replace the Charles de Gaulle on Sunday, speaking to French troops in Abu Dhabi. Macron said France must be feared and strong at sea, which is why the decision to equip France with the new nuclear carrier was made.
Ce nouveau porte-avions sera l'illustration de la puissance de notre nation, puissance de l'industrie, de la technique, puissance au service de la liberté sur les mers et dans les remous du temps.
It is expected to be in service by 2038. The old carrier has been in service since 2001 and is designed to last about 40 years. Capable of carrying 30 jets and costing 10 billion euros, it will be Europe's largest warship backed by 800 firms. France's military currently consists of around 200,000 active personnel and over 40,000 reservists, making it the second largest in the European Union.
For the past 2 years, as the war in Gaza dragged on, Christmas in Bethlehem has been a somber affair. This year, Christmas celebrations and visitors are slowly returning to the city, signaling hope about the fragile ceasefire in Gaza. Christmas and religious pilgrims have always been a prime economic engine for Bethlehem.
Bethlehem has been facing hardships since March of 2020 when COVID started, and ever since it's been up and down until October the 7th, the war in Gaza and the war on all of the West Bank.
For the families who struggled to keep business afloat during the war, the sight of tourists feels like a relief after years of uncertainty.
كان عندي حوالي 80 موظف من أول الحرب قلصناهم وعوضناهم وقعدناهم في الدار وخلينا 4 أو 5 ثابتين.
In the meantime, the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem paid a visit to the Holy Family Parish in Gaza. A patriarchate statement said the visit marked the beginning of Christmas celebrations in a community that has lived and continues to live through dark and challenging times. Deep Shambarka's big dream seems to be shattered. Instead of graduating, he's facing deportation. The 25-year-old came to Berlin from India as a master's student. He has been studying business management at the private international university for over a year, but then he received a letter asking him to leave the country.
I was really surprised to have it because in my case, I didn't do anything wrong. I came here as a student. I came here to study. I came here for a better future.
Studying, meeting friends, all that will soon be a thing of the past. The responsible authority suddenly no longer recognizes the IU sufficiently. His visa and those of around 300 other Indian students will not be extended, Deep tells us.
Basically, this thing started this year from the month of March. They started deporting students because they consider the course that IU offers is a distance learning course. I think this was because the university didn't launch or offered their courses or didn't have the proper accreditation of the courses which they were supposed to have.
The argument, IU is not sufficiently equipped for face-to-face teaching. Nevertheless, until recently, IU attracted students with videos abroad. It advertises a typical German student life and the prospect of jobs in Europe. Instead, Deep is now stuck with a student loan of 20,000 euros that he contracted in India. IU would not refund the money, despite the fact that Deep's past exams seems to be worthless, as other universities would not recognize them. Deep tells Euronews.
I'm kind of surprised and sad about it, but unfortunately things don't work out how I wanted it, and it's kind of tough to face all the situation mentally and physically. There are a lot of private universities here in Berlin, and IU is the only one that is having problems with the visa right now, and yeah, the students are suffering a lot because of it.
Deep has lodged an appeal against his deportation, but he has little hope. IU said it regretted that students were asked to leave the country. The responsible authority had changed its procedure without informing the university.
Während meiner Recherche habe ich auch mit anderen indischen IU-Studenten gesprochen. Zum Beispiel mit einem Studenten, der in Indien ist und das erste Jahr bereits online absolviert hat. Er sollte jetzt eigentlich nach Berlin kommen, um den Rest zu machen, aber bekommt kein Visum. Ein anderer Student hier in Berlin berichtet von Suizidgedanken, weil er abgeschoben werden soll. Laura Fleischmann aus Berlin für Euronews.